Alright guys, how are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Me, I'm doing great as always. We're approaching Valentine's Day and I thought, you know what, maybe some of you will be alone crying in your bed, and I said why not have some mangas to entertain you. So today I've decided to make a longer format video with 10 recommendations for you guys to read during this week and the upcoming months. All mangas are not completed here and some of them have more chapters than others. As always, the links and names of the mangas are in the comments. And please, if you want to show me some support for my content, feel free to like, subscribe and comment. It's really important for the algorithm and to push out my content to other people. Anyways, let's not waste any more time and get started with the intro.
Welcome to MangaTimes です。MangaTimes です。Like and subscribe bitch.
Alright, the first manga of this list is entitled Oami Tsumiki no to Kishiniju, which in English means Tsukimi Ogami and the Strange Everyday Life. It's a romance manga about two people. The first person is called Shinsu and the other is called Ogami. The both of them are not the same obviously, as Shinsu is actually a normal human and Ogami is a half human, half werewolf. Basically, the story takes place in an age where there are two types of people, humans and Genjins. Genjins are like supernatural entities that are kind of mixed between humans and actual animals. So for example, Tsumiki Ogami is a werewolf, but there are other Genjins. For example, there are vampires, there are like half birds, there is a Medusa, and it's pretty nice. What I really like here is that we have a whole world building around these characters and the art is really cute. So basically the story will focus on the relationship between Shinsu and Ogami. It is quite a nice manga with a few development arcs, many characters and cool designs. The romance as well is really well made, although the manga is kind of new, so there isn't any advancement in the current romance that has been major. Though I definitely recommend you to add this to your list so you could follow it in the upcoming months. Alright, the second manga has left me kind of confused because I'm not sure if it's romance yet. There's no romance tags. Its name is After Beating a Noob in an FPS, He Wanted to Fight Me in Real Life. It's the story of a guy that one day plays video games and he kills somebody and that person trash talks him and tells him basically, go meet me in real life. So nobody actually goes to meet people when they send you these messages, but my guy goes there and you know what? It's actually a small girl. She's actually really small and cute and she's kind of mad at him. So this is a really funny manga with goofy moments. The characters are actually funny. It's like a webcomic that you can follow if you're bored during the day. It's funny because like the female lead is actually so unexpressive, but in the way she shows her actions, she's quite violent as well. The comedy in this manga is on point, though the writing isn't anything special. The art style is kind of cute, so yeah, go give it a try. Okay, so the third manga of this video is a cosplay idol manga, but don't expect anything like Oshinoko. Don't expect anything too fragrant. It's actually a really funny and kind of suggestive manga. His name is Haise Hazanse Sumire-chan, which basically means a remnant soldier Sumire-chan. It tells the story of obviously Sumire-chan. How many times did I say that? She's a 31 years old ex-gravel model and she was actually trying to be an idol, but now she's pretty much of a truant, not doing anything of her life, lazing at home, working small jobs and smoking cigarettes all the time, though she's still pretty hot. So the story will focus on her weird cousin Yusei that one day comes and says, hey cousin, let's make an OnlyFans. Nah, I'm just kidding. He actually tells her something pretty similar. He tells her, hey, let's take pictures of you wearing suggestive cosplays and let's post it online and sell it and make stonks. And you know what? She's actually saying yes here. She actually just says yes, and the whole story story is about the both of them, Yusei and Sumire, how they will ascend in the cosplay community by doing conventions and things like that. First of all, the art is amazing, the character design is great, which I really find rare these days to find such wonderful art in those types of mangas. I also like the hidden message. There's a message in the manga that's kind of, heartwarming about, not giving up on your dreams despite your age. So yeah, it's a really nice manga. 3 chapters for now. Don't worry, I'm gonna go for more mangas with longer chapters, but please add this one to your list. The mangaka is one of my favorite mangakas of all times, and he knows what he's doing, so let him cook. Alright, this one is a romance one finally, and it's the one on the thumbnail. It's a manga entitled Usagi to Kainushi-san. In English it means rabbit and owner, but before you leave and think it's something really bad, don't worry, it's only a sweet manga with some hidden backstories, of course. So the story takes place in a world where there are 2 races, humans and rabbits. Basically, rabbits are a race of people with ears, and their intelligence is kind of limited, so they don't actually act like human, but they do live with humans as kind of like workers and things like that. It's not really precise in the manga, but the story will focus between one rabbit named Shiro and her companion, which is a small boy with blonde hair, and how the 2 of them will actually grow together and they will spend their days together as they live with each other even through adulthood. I find the art for this one really wonderful. There is a bit of drama, of course, because as you can see in the description, it's still rabbit and owner, and also this work is already completed. It's gonna be translated maybe next month. All the chapters will be translated in English. It's a really small webcomic with heartwarming moments that follow the 2 characters here, their relationships. The art is great, so yeah, you wouldn't be disappointed, and I hope you like on this one. Alright, still some romance. Here we have one of my favorites right now. It's really amazing. It's entitled No Miara Not You, and it's basically a manga about Arima, a boy who has a crush on a girl named Yukira. So Yukira is basically the perfect girl, clean black hair, the perfect Japanese girl. But the thing with Arima is that every time he tries to make a move to get closer to Yukira, he has his other friend called Miyahara, who's a girl that just happens to be here, and she will always mistaken things that Arima does for Yukira. She will mistaken it that actually Arima is doing it for her. So it's really funny because that girl is maybe the cutest character in the manga yet with Yotsuba, and the interactions, the misunderstanding with Arima and Miyahara is really fun. I think that the creativity of the mangaka here is really underrated because we do have a romance here, but it's still really young kids in the manga. It's not nothing any really serious, but I just find this manga so original in its approach to romance because we have those 3 characters. There's like no drama. It's just complete opposites in personality. You got Arima that got a crush on the calm, perfect girl. Then there's Miyahara, who's actually, that kind of a tomboy, kind of like crazy girl that just is always cheerful and always cute. And if you read the comments for each of the chapters, you realize how many people actually prefer Miyahara to Yukira because she's just so original. And I think that this one will actually be one of your favorites if you actually follow it. The chapters are updated kind of like monthly or bi-weekly, but it's still ongoing and it's a fairly recent manga, so add it to your reading list. Alright, this one was actually recommended to me by a subscriber. So it's called Museru Kurai no Ai wo Ageru, and it tells the story of a girl who's actually working in art school. She also works in a cafe basically, and one day she actually is working on the final task, an assignment for college, and there's a guy that actually spills a drink on her laptop, and so she has a mental breakdown and everything, but the guy happens to feel really bad. He lets her use his computer, and turns out that this guy actually is playing in a band. He's really creative, and their relationship will focus around their passion for art, but also their personalities, which are really interesting. What I love in this manga is that it includes many things such as music, art, well-written relationships. What I really love here is that the focus on romance is not overshadowed by the focus on music. Give it a try if you're into this kind of things. It's a shoujo though, so I'm not sure if everyone will like it, though I don't think it's too tropey, so yeah, give it a try. Alright, dropping a bit with the romance, guys, we're gonna go into some more cute things. This one is named Female Knight and the Kemono Mimi Child. So this is a really nice manga and a really like soothing manga because it tells the story of Olivia, who's a female knight, and she's basically this strong woman. Like she's really muscular, she has a nice design design, and she lives with her apprentice Noah, who's an animal-eared child. So the story will focus on their relationship, not in a romantic way, of course. It's more about their progress as people. And I just find the slice of life aspect of it to be really, really well written. Like, you don't get bored of this manga. It's on its maybe 30 chapters right now. The art as well is just amazing. Really, it's really good, and you don't get bored because there is actually a small plot development going through the slice of life. There are some more characters that get introduced during the way of the story, and it's just an overall really entertaining manga. So yeah, you should actually enjoy this one, even if you're not into romance or this kind of things, because there's no romance here. It's just slice of life with a lot of wholesomeness and a lot of cute things. Okay, getting back in one of the most underrated romance I've read. It's not the best, but it's really damn underrated and really well written. Its name is Daily Life of Sachan, a drugstore clerk. So basically it tells the story of Sachan and her childhood friend, who's actually crazy in love for her. But as always, the childhood friend has trouble confessing his feelings for the cute Sachan. And so it's basically the story of two autistic people and how they can't confess to each other. However, there is some actual progress here. It's not the boring story with like 100 chapters following this trope of the character that can't confess. No, I'm not spoiling everything obviously, but it's a really underrated manga. Its approach to romance and being cute and having nice designs as well. I find here that the two designs of the character, the male character and the female character, is really well done, which is rare in romance mangas nowadays. You know, we have like this kind of things where there's a nice female design but the male guy just looks like shit. I also like the fact that there are some additional characters that come in the story, which is not, you know, so rare with romance mangas, but here it's well written and it gets introduced a bit later in the manga. So this one is really a highlight of the 2 last years. I was following it and I think you will enjoy it. Okay, I think we're entering the 2 last mangas of this list. This one is entitled Misato-san is a bit cold towards her boss who pampers her, and it's not the Misato for Evangelion, don't get mistaken. But it tells the story of Misato, a beautiful office lady who is very good at her job. She's actually also really serious and really dedicated at doing things right. Though she has a boss who is a middle-aged man and he's the complete opposite of her. He spoils everyone, he's really kind, he's really sweet, and Misato-san, who is really a strict woman, has a bit of conflicted feelings about it. She doesn't understand why he's being so nice and everything, and the story will focus on the relationship between these two. And what I really enjoy with this manga is the art, the design of the characters, but also the development that the characters actually go through. We've already been in 13 chapters and there's been so much development in 13 chapters. It's actually not rushed, it's just well written and the chapters are quite long as well. I think it's one of those romance that actually have good development. Don't try to be, you know, following the random tropes of romance mangas, and try also to be original in its approach to characters. The age gap, if you might be wondering, is not too big. Misato-san is in her 30s and her boss is maybe 10 years older than her. So yeah, this one is underrated, check it out. Alright, last one is again romance, and it means On the Balcony Again Today. Its title is that basically. So it tells the story of a freelance designer that actually loves to relax from work, and he works at home, he doesn't do a lot of things, and he has one hobby basically, which is gardening. So he gardens a lot, and one day, by coincidence, he actually meets someone, his neighbor, that's also gardening on the balcony. And the thing is that they don't meet face to face because there's a wall separating them, but they hear each other being there. So they have these meetings every night, which is a bit tropey, I know, but stay with me. And they stay and talk with each other without ever seeing their faces. But turns out that that girl is actually kind of like an actress and a model, and so
the story will focus
on these two, basically these two autistic main characters that will never go meet each other. Don't worry, it will happen someday. And the romance is actually well made, the art and design is wonderful. I think that I've been saying that for so many times now, but it's only really good mangas that I recommend to you guys. So yeah, it's a wonderful manga because I love the way like how the characters evolve individually. It's not always the focus on the main lead, and I think you'll enjoy this one because first of all, it's original, the characters are autistic, the art is great, and the story is okay. The characters are attaching. So yeah, go read this one. Alright, the video is finished. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry if my voice is a bit raspy, I'm a bit ill, but hey, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you want to show support to my channel, feel free to like, subscribe and comment. I'll see you another week. Bye.